Hey y'all, come on in. Y'all know I'm new to this, so let me try to navigate correctly. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Come on in. I am new to this live stream thing, so y'all bear with me. I think I put together a pretty good show for y'all, so we gonna get into it. I'm just waiting on everybody to join. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Can y'all hear me okay? Give me like a thumbs up or an emoji. I can project a little better. This is what I do. Good, everybody can hear me okay? All right, I'm just gonna wait another minute. We have a lot to cover, you guys, so I'm gonna try to just breeze through. So I'm gonna get started in a minute. Hey, Team Teefab, woo woo. Hey, Queens. Hey, Curl family. Welcome, welcome to the first ever Tea Talk. We got a lot going down. I tried my best to work on a good little show for y'all, so I think we got a good little start. So we gonna get into it, okay? First of all, I want to start with this disclaimer, okay? This is a live stream for me, Coach Teefab Fit, okay? Just to be clear, and this is not shady, I am not an employee of Strict Curl Nation. The views and opinions expressed today are simply my own. They are not the views and opinions of any federation or organization. This live stream was birthed out of feedback from you guys. I have collabed with a couple of people on some lives, and I have taken in you guys' perspective and your feedback of what you wanted to see, what you didn't care so much for. So that is why I decided to start this. To be honest with you, this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I've actually had different people in different federations, hey y'all, ask me in different organizations, ask me about doing some type of live podcast or live stream. I put it off on the shelf because I have a lot of stuff that I'm working on, a lot of projects that I'm working on, and we'll get into that. However, as you all know, I don't believe in coincidences, and things had arise where I felt like I need to use my platform and use my voice. And so out of those negative things became this positive, which is Tea Talk. So I'm not going to let anybody speak for me. I can use my voice and wear my crown, and I have no problem expressing myself and saying what I need to say. And I said what I said. All right. So what is Tea Talk? Tea Talk is just a time for me to reach out on my platform with everything that I do. It is not a bodybuilding type of live. It is not a powerlifting. It is just all Coach Teefab things from my heart and my spirit. We might discuss sports. We might not. It might just be lifeology one time. It might be anything. I'm a heart mom. I do so many other things. So again, all the views and opinions that I express today are not a reflection on anyone other than me. Again, I am not an employee of any organization or any federation. I know a lot of people reach out to me and have in the past when they can't get anybody from Strict Curl Nation to respond, or they have questions about qualifying for a meet or things like that. And I appreciate that. However, I have since then extended boundaries. In my experience, those same people I'll help them get to the meet and they'll barely even speak, or they'll get upset because I won the meet. So from now on, and I posted this in my stories, I reciprocate support, and I support those that support me. And if I advocate for anyone, it's people that I know will advocate for me. So unless you're on Team Teefab or you in my tribe, you're going to have to reach out to Strict Curl Nation, because I am not an employee for Strict Curl Nation. Love you, mean it. All right. So now we got that out the way. Let's go ahead and start the show, okay, you guys? Today's topic is about strict curl. The intention is to discuss the curl and promote my upcoming meet, Battle of the Biceps, okay? So just getting that, clear. We want to just make sure that this is not a reflection on anybody else, and this doesn't fall back on anyone else. All right, so again, we're talking about the strict curl. What is the strict curl? The strict curl is an isolated bicep curl where the biceps and the forearms are a primary mover. What makes it strict is because you're wedged against the wall. And because you're wedged against the wall, it requires the body to only use those primary movers. You can't use the body. The strict curl was actually one of the original power curls. There were actually 4 lifts when powerlifting first came about. But because of time, if you think about how long a powerlifting meet takes, because of time, they did away with the strict curl because it was the less entertaining lift, and it shortened the length of the meets. So that is when you saw the meets or the lifts start to die out. The Godfather, Pop, OG, CT Fletcher kept the lift alive. And one thing that I want you guys to do when you get off my live today is make sure that you go to Pop's page and wish him a happy birthday, because today is Pop's birthday. Happy birthday, Pop. Thank you for paving the way. And so he is celebrating his birthday today. But if it wasn't for CT Fletcher, I would not be here doing what I do. I would not be the Queen of Curls. And we appreciate him and everything that he's done to keep the lift alive. There are also certain other federations that have kept the lift as a part of their federations. And lately, within the last few years, you have seen the strict curl blow up. Now, I would say before I heard of Strict Curl Nation or came about with Strict Curl Nation, CT Fletcher's federation was pretty much the only federation that I knew that did only the strict curl. So now Strict Curl Nation and other federations are including the lift, and the lift is becoming popular. And I like to think that I had a hand in that. And so I'm just going to do everything I can to advocate for it. Another thing that I wanted to point out is that I've been competing in the strict curl since 2018. When I first started competing in the strict curl, I didn't know how to train. So I trained just raw, pretty much just went up there and did whatever. I started training in the curl in 2019. From 2019 and beyond, I have been undefeated in the strict curl. I've competed in every fed in the country except for like one. But I still have the all-time world record with all of the feds, and I'm a lifetime natural. So I say that not to brag or boast, but I say that because when you see doors open or me carry the title Queen of Curls, just know that I earned it. It wasn't a title that was given to me because I am pretty or bougie or pretty bougie. It's a title that I earned through clanging and banging. All right. All right. Next up, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. And I don't even want to say the elephant in the room because it's not big enough to take that much of my energy, but there is some things that I need to clear up. And so let's address the post. A couple of weeks ago or a few weeks ago, I don't know, I've been busy. I posted a picture of 2 lifts at the Arnold. And I had a caption to the picture, and it was in light of news that I had received inside intel. And it was very thorough. It was self-explanatory. One thing we have to remember with social media, there is no IQ requirement for social media. Anybody can have a social media account. Anybody can get on it and say anything, okay? But the post that I posted was not about a misload. It was not about the picture. The picture was just an eye grab. I was very detailed in what the post was about. However, people use the picture to deflect and to discredit the post. If you read the post, you can tell that evidently I must be privy to inside information that the general public is not privy to. Because with me being busy and all that I have to do, and as blessed as I am, I'm not going to go and put a long post on social media about a meet that I won and about a misload with less than a pound with a lifter that was twice my weight class. So why would I need to even post about that if I won the meet and our dots wasn't even close? But however, that was used to discredit what went on at the Arnold. So I just want to say, from that post, I made a decision to take a stand. That was not my first experience similar to what I posted. Since I began lifting from that same source of energy, I have experienced discrimination, racism, and sexism. I have forgave it and still showed up and competed and won. Not with any intention to support because I had nowhere else to go, just because I wanted to create a legacy and prove a point. I will say from then, God has blessed me many times over. My belt count is 16. So if you remember me years ago posting about what happened at that meet, just know that God has blessed me multiple times over. So when I got that information, it was the final straw for me. So I felt like that needs to be addressed because I don't want anybody to speak for me. And I don't want people to be misled. Why did I even bring it up today? Because when I went out to LA, and I live all the way in Virginia, a post was shown to me that I owe people a public apology. My response to that was, well, who? I don't know that man. I feel sorry for that man. But that is not what the post was about. The post was about misconduct, and I'm at the point where I don't need that platform. I've proved myself as a lifter, 100% lifetime natural, and I have just chose to move on, because if I can't trust you to treat others fairly, how can I trust you to treat me fairly? So to wrap that up and summarize, I said what I said. All right, now we've emptied the trash. We're going to stay in the light, you guys, because we have a lot of wonderful things that are going on. I'm on the heels of winning another world championship out in LA with CT Fletcher, with ISCA Worlds. A lot of people were watching. The meet was phenomenal. One of the reasons why I go all the way from Virginia to LA to compete is kind of a reflection of what I just said. CT is a brilliant man. His energy is so pure. A lot of people just see like the cussing and the clanging in the gym, but it's like totally different when you're around him. It's nothing but love. His whole family works the meets. His wife is there. His in-laws, his daughter-in-law, his son-in-law, his sons are there. His grandchildren are there and they're lifting. It's just a beautiful environment. It's an environment that the world needs to see. So as a strict curler, I know some of you guys are on the fence because going all the way out to LA might be a sacrifice. It might be costly, but I'm going to tell you, it's something that you need to do at least one time in your career. Feeling the energy in the Valley of the Beast, feeling the energy in Iron Addicts Gym is invaluable. And every opportunity that I have to go, I will be there lifting and supporting him and his family. And I can trust that I go there and I'm not going to be cheated. And that's a wonderful thing. CT doesn't care if you come and lift I've seen people come from China with no shoes on lifting with CT. I have friends that come from Slovakia, and if they don't win, they don't go home with anything. He's not going to, kind of pat you on the back or big you up or try to, change things around so you keep coming back. Whoever wins, wins. And so the integrity alone keeps me coming back. But again, it's the energy, man. My super heavyweight brothers really turned up out there. So shout out to Big Joe. Shout out to the Juggernaut. Shout out to Zolt, and from all the way from Slovakia that came on out there and curled. You guys are amazing. The ladies showed up and did a wonderful job. We had teen lifters. We had adaptive lifters. It's just such a beautiful experience. So again, it's something that you need to put on your to-do list. And I'm grateful that I was able to bring home my 4th world title there. And I'll be back again every time God allows to do it again. So again, put it on your list, okay? A couple of things that I want to point out. Things that you need to know, okay? Strict Curl Nation versus ISCA has some differences. So I have seen a lot of lifters not be prepared for that. Now, this was the first year that CT Fletcher did switch his weight classes. One of the main differences was the weight classes, but now there are adjoined. So the same weight classes that you see in Strict Curl Nation, you will see in ISCA. But there is a huge difference in how the meet is run, and I'm going to kind of go through that quickly. First of all, they use different bars. CT Fletcher uses a 30-pound OBZ bar. Strict Curl Nation uses a 25-pound gopher bar. The bars are designed completely different. And in my opinion, the OBZ bar is that old school kind of bar that doesn't provide a lot of whip. So what I mean by that is that it requires you to muscle up the bar more so than the gopher bar. If you're training exclusively on the gopher bar, you need to be prepared for that. If you are training exclusively on the OBZ, you need to be prepared for that. One of the things that I advise lifters, and especially as a coach, is the gopher bar will give you a little more poundage than the OBZ. So whatever your max is on the gopher, you need to take it down a few for the OBZ because it's probably not going to be that, okay? You got to work a little harder. And that's the way that CT likes it done. That's the way it's always been done. And when you go into his house, you respect his rules, and that's the way you do it, all right? Strict Curl Nation does not use that. They use the gopher bar, and a couple of other federations that I lift with have moved over to the gopher bar. So keep that in mind. Secondly, the commands, all right? Strict Curl Nation has just gone to the curl and down command. You only get 2 commands. Other federations will say curl and rack command for Strict Curl Nation, curl and rack. Other federations will say curl down and rack. So you also need to know which commands you're giving depending on which feds that you're in. I have seen people go out there and wait for a down command and, wait for just a rack, and he hasn't given the down command. A lot of people transfer over to strict curl nation and they wait for the down command. So in strict curl nation, at my meet, Battle of the Biceps, it's just going to be curl and rack. That's it. The down is at your own timing, okay? Let's see. Or the down is when you hear rack. Another thing is plates. CT uses pig iron plates. Strict curl nation and other curl federations use KG plates. So there is a difference in that too. They move a little differently. Biggest thing is the whip, 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 whip. All right. Blowing through the sticking point. And I know some of these are powerlifting terms, comes down to whip. So you want to make sure that you're understanding the equipment that you use. CT also started requiring a singlet. Strict curl nation has always required a singlet. CT does not require an undershirt. Strict curl nation does require an undershirt. Okay. CT's federation does require the head to stay in contact. So that's major, especially when you're training. Okay. When you go out there, he requires 3 points of contact, which is going to be head, back, and glutes. Head, back, and booty. All right. For strict curl nation, it's just back and glutes. Okay. I understand both. So just make sure you do your research and train accordingly to do both. When I curl, I always keep my head back because it helps the way I brace. So that's just me. But some people, because of the way that their body is shaped, cannot do that. So I understand the need for both. Okay. I think I covered everything. Oh, weigh-in, CT. Oh, that's a big thing. That's what got a queen kind of tangled up, but we made it do what it do. CT does a same day weigh-in. All right. So you can imagine if you're traveling from one coast to another, that's going to be huge in your performance. But he does not do a 24-hour weigh-in, whereas strict curl nation and other federations, 90% of them do a 24-hour weigh-in. CT does a same-day weigh-in, and guess what? You weigh in your singlet. If you're not a powerlifter, you might think, well, that's not a big deal. But if you are a powerlifter, you know that could be a big deal. Okay? Because sometimes you might have to weigh in the way you came into this world. Okay? Can't do that out there. It's an open weigh-in and you're weighing in your singlet. Now, I'm not going to say I have a problem with it per se, because at least you know that nobody is cheating your weight. Okay? You're weighing in front of everybody. You have a singlet on and the integrity is kept. So I get it. Okay? So those are the differences between the two. Know the differences between the two. Again, if you go out there or if you call yourself a curler, it is something that you need to do at least one time. You know, I know everybody's not on the same level, but you know, it just really sharpens your skills and relights that fire in you to continue to, you know, do what you do and push the curl and train the curl and just want to be the best of the best. All right. All right, moving on. So again, I did bring home the World Championship for the 4th time. I'm excited about that. And also, like I said, it's a lot of other things that are in the brew and in the works. So just stay tuned because this won't be the last time that I do this. All right. All right, next, let's talk about what's going down with the Battle of the Biceps. All right. It's happening at the Chaos Lab. Okay. Unless you've been under a rock, you know that I am collaborating with Strict Curl Nation for the Battle of the Biceps. That is happening July 15th at the Chaos Lab. All right, it's going to be a little different than last year because we're going to incorporate the max rep battle. So everybody's been waiting for this. So I definitely have talked to the people with Strict Curl Nation. I've talked to my brothers in Iron and kind of got some good feedback of what we want to do with the rep battle. We have decided, and it's not solid, but for this time, we're going to give it a try. The rep battle is going to be 50% of body weight. All right. So as many reps as you can curl, 50% of your body weight, as many reps as you can curl. Whoever has the most reps wins that. Okay. So that is going down July 15th at the Chaos Lab. Now, I'm excited to say that they're going to be, there's an opportunity for some awesome media packages out of the Chaos Lab. And I'm going to be posting all of this in my stories and on my page. Clay, which is one of my fit bros that works out and works at the Chaos Lab. He's excellent with audio visuals. He is the in-house media guy, and he does pictures and videos, and he's top notch. Okay. I will be putting in my stories and on my page how to reach out to him and how to purchase your video packages or your picture packages for the meet. My suggestion would be to get them. So hopefully, and maybe this will catch on. You know, if you train for months, you spend money traveling, and we have lifters coming from all over the country, and I'll get into that in a minute. You spend money traveling from all over the world. You want to have some good footage. You want to have it documented in a way where you can be proud of that and look back on it years later. So I would suggest for all of you that are coming, especially those that do this a lot, or this is a milestone, or just a bucket list, whatever. Get the media package, get the video, get the pictures. It helps your social media. It builds your brand, and it's just memories that you can keep for a lifetime, and it's done professionally. So again, stay tuned to my stories and on my page, because I will be giving you the info of how to reach out to Clay with Chaos Media and how to reserve your media packages. So everybody needs to get that, because that's going to be a wonderful opportunity. Okay? So just backtracking to make sure everybody heard, or if somebody heard late, the max rep battle. Hey sis, hey y'all, I'm sorry, I'm seeing all y'all come in and hey. The max rep battle is 50% of body weight, okay? So for however many reps you can do, 50% of body weight, okay? I talked about the media packages. Let's talk about the states represented real quick. So far we have Virginia, of course, Virginia in the house. We have lifters coming from Alabama, Illinois, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Colorado, Idaho, Florida, and California. So y'all showing up for a queen. It's humbling. When I got the list, like tears came to my eyes. You know, I didn't let them drop because, but I am very humbled that you guys chose to travel from all over the country to come curl with me. And I am going to do my best to make sure that you have a wonderful experience. I am going to do my best to treat you how I would want to be treated at a meet. And that's pretty much what the post was about when I talked about that earlier, and you can circle back if you joined late. But I want to do my best to treat you guys how I would want to be treated. Now, one of the things that you guys know is I love me some hardware, okay? A queen works hard clanging and banging. I work hard. It's hard on me. It's hard on my body, so when I leave a meet, I want to make sure I leave with something that is like, I can look back on it years later, like, wow, I did that. So what I did is I reached out to my fit bro in California. He makes some custom overalls, and I'm excited to get him on. The big announcement was revealing my overall awards, and I'm going to try not to cry. But let me see if I can connect him now. And we're going to talk about and reveal. And let's see if I can get him in. Hold on one second. I think I did it right. You guys bear with me because, there he is. Hey, fam.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. So tell the people who you are, what you do, and why you on my live.
Yeah, all right. Well, for everybody, my name is Abel Diaz. I do everything custom, right? I remember when you reached out to me and just asked me if I was able to make something special for you, and you just kind of went on through the details, right? And I remember I was like, well, this is not going to be easy, but it's not going to be impossible either. And, a funny fact, right, because I talked to CT as well, right, and I think that's the way you got into this, actually, because he told me once that I believe last year you went and competed there, and then you reached out to him and asked him if there were going to be any kind of trophies of that matter right there.
Yes.
Yeah, and then he reached out to me, and then I'm like, yeah, it's too short of a time. I can't do that, right? We could not make it that way that time. But anyways, what I do is I do anything custom. I started doing this about 17, 18 years ago. My background is on the sign business, and then about 5 years ago, I started doing just custom jewelry, custom trophies. I started making actually car toys. And then little by little, I got into details, and I started liking more of the details. Also, when I was about 16, 17 years old, I worked in a jewelry in Mexico. And we had to do everything from scratch, buy gold, melt it, and make something nice out of it. And that was, a heck of a trade that I learned right there. And now here we are about 25 years later, and we're using it to make things happen.
Well, you are gifted. So, and you're right. Like when I first saw your work, I think it was Iron Wars or something. Like you had made like some chains and like some dope trophies. And, you know, I compete and I do well. So I kind of have some of everything. I pretty much have pretty much everything that they give out. But I would love something custom because you know that somebody's like heart and soul went into it. And when I saw your stuff, I was like, man, I would love to have it. So that's when I reached out to CT. Now, I didn't know he had actually tried to get something made for the meet. But that's humbling that he was willing to change the belts up for a queen. However, I still feel a little salty that the, you know, ideal trophy that I wanted is going to the people at my meet.
Yeah.
However, it's okay because this is my way to give back to the community. All right. Now, I'm going to let y'all in on a secret. I almost made Abel cry because he made me cry. He presented me these trophies in the middle of the meet. Now, I was done lifting, but the meet was going on. We were literally in the middle of the floor. And, you know, everybody see me lifting and grunting. But if you know me in real life, you know that I am an empath. I am very sensitive. And whenever somebody goes out their way to do something for me, it means a lot to me. So,
Queen, don't cry.
I'm trying not to. I'm a G. All right, be a G. So anyway, the trophies blew my mind. They were beyond what I could have asked for. And just that gesture that you took that much time to make something for me. And what got me is when you was like, it was my honor to make these for the queen. Man, you had me crying like a baby. And I saw your eyes water just a little bit, so don't act like I was the only one out there because I saw you, you know, had a little twinkle, a little sparkle. But yeah, so again, before I reveal them to all my curlers, like we are very underestimated in how hard it is to train for this lift. The forearm muscles are so small and sensitive. And if you can imagine corporal tunnel times 1,000,000, like, you know, it's a hard lift to train for consistently. And so for those that are dedicated to the curl, this is my my thank you to y'all. I'm trying to, with my meet, treat a lifter how I would want to be treated. And I also want to bring back the lift. And I also want to say to my curlers, I see you. So without further ado, these are my overalls for the battle of the biceps. I don't even know if it's going to fit in this screen. Look. Look at I mean, this thing is huge, okay? So this is for male and female. I also don't believe that males should have something different than the females. This is for male and female. I just want to show a picture to everybody watching of me and you out in LA when we took a picture of the awards. It's something that I will cherish. Although I went out there and I won, I think that kind of made the day for me. I could not fit them in my luggage bag. So I was worried that TSA was going to be like, ma'am, no, you came through here with them belts. You're doing too much. Look how big those things are. Those are for you guys. But I got them home. I had to, so I was already sore. And some of y'all might have heard a little rumor that I had a little tweak, a little injury. But I got them home. I had to walk through the airport holding them in my hand. But they made it home. And I'm so excited to be able to present them to my overall winners, okay? I promise I will do more for my Masters winners, my adaptive as the meet grows. But this year we have some beautiful awards, and they're going to go to my male and female overall. And Abel, I just want to thank you so much for just for blowing my mind. Like, I was ecstatic that I won the meet. I was ecstatic that I brought home another couple of world titles, but I was even more ecstatic that I am carrying myself in a way that I'm respected enough as a lifter that someone would do something like that for me. It's very humbling, and I appreciate it so much. Okay?
Hey, no problem. And well, let me just tell you something real quick to everybody, all right? I got my boys right here telling me it's time to close the shop. No, hold on, okay? Jeez.
Right. I know. You talking to the queen. He can wait a minute.
Well, here's the thing too, all right? And this is something I always tell people, especially, you know, since I've been doing work with CT Fletcher. And just so you guys know, you guys are taking a one-of-a-kind piece. And I'm talking about those awards, right? Those were made by hand, literally, you know? So my heart and soul went into those trophies, all right? If you compare both of them, they look alike, but they are different. And that is, you know, the secret behind everything I do. I like to make everything to be unique. And like I always say, I don't replicate nothing. You know, like if you call me later and tell me, you know what, I decided to have a third one, I'm so sorry, but that's not going to happen. All right. There is only two. And if next year we do something together again, there will be two more that will be completely different. And if you get this one and you get next year, then you're in for a collection of trophies. And that's actually that makes things interesting, right? It's not the same thing over and over. I think that's a key component, because then everything turns into a trend, and we don't want the street curl to become a trend. We want it to keep on going, and that is a challenge that we are facing right now. You know, a lot of these movements are really underestimated, in my opinion. CT's Iska was the first time I ever competed on a street curl competition, and guys, let me tell you, that takes a lot of strength, to be honest. I really underestimated the movement. I went on in. I'm a 220-pound guy, and I was able to pick up only 115 pounds. So I went out of there with the tail in between my legs, thinking I was going to be able to pick up 185 pounds because I can do that without a wall on my back. The moment I was against that wall, everything just went. That was it for me. No more. And it was funny, and it was kind of embarrassing. At the same time, I was having such a great time because I found a new motor for me to go back and train, something different, you know? And I believe that's a key point, and that's something that we need to find a way together, you know, as a competitor, as someone that brings out the competition. We got to find a way to keep things alive. And my way to give to you guys is by creating one-of-a-kind stuff that cannot let this sport just die.
Yeah.
All I have to say.
Well, I appreciate you. We will definitely be working together every year that I have the honor of hosting meets, and I want to try to do more throughout the year. I will definitely come to you. Again, salute, sir. I appreciate you. I see you. I see your passion for the community. And I thank you so much for this gesture for me and for the curlers that are coming from all over for this meet. And, you know, I just look forward to coming back out to LA and kicking it with you guys and doing it again next year.
Yeah. Hey, whenever you get a chance to stop by Las Vegas, we're here anytime. So.
Oh, I'll be out in Vegas too. You know, me and my queen crew, we go. Now you're gonna have to be able to hang with us, because we turn up a little bit, but when we get out to Vegas, we'll hit you up. We'll show you good little time, queen crew style, for sure.
Sounds good. Good. I'll get ready my side of the crew, my wife, and then we'll see what we do. Cool.
Sounds good.
Perfect. All right.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll be in touch, and again, we appreciate it.
All right. No, thank you for having me. See you guys.
No problem.
Bye.
All right, you guys. So I'm going to move on to the question and answer portion of the show before I close things out. I don't know how to take you off, Abel. I don't know. I don't know.
Hear that out.
Okay, there it goes. There it is. All right, let's see. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I think I did that right. Did I? No? Yes. Okay, good. All right. So I have a full screen. I'm going to show you one more time. Isn't that amazing? They're huge. So I can't wait to see who comes out and earns it. And he said something that was very synonymous of why I fell in love with the curl. It's not what you think you can do, is what you do when your back is against the wall. And that's one of the reasons why I am passionate about the strip curl, because it is. It's synonymous in life. You know, everybody thinks that they can carry that load, they can move it, they can carry that weight, and they can move that weight until their back is against the wall. Then what can you do? And that takes a lot of tenacity, it takes a lot of discipline, and it takes consistency and perseverance. It's also another reason why I decided to use my voice. And this is where the tea talk comes in. And this is where my disclaimer came in. For those who don't know this about me, I am a PK. I grew up in the church. And as you can imagine, I grew up seeing a lot of hypocrisy. So if you're ever around me, you'll hear me talk about integrity, leading by example, because that is a trigger for me. I would see people who were supposed to be in positions, and then they would have the worst moral character, but condemn somebody else for the simplest things. So when I see that, that makes me want to remove myself. And so that was the reason for my post. You know, it wasn't to, don't get me wrong, I have made great friends within that federation. I love coming there and seeing families live together, seeing kids live together. But the way my moral character is set up, I pray that somebody sees this and says, you know what, she might be right. She might have a point. There's a whole lot of people that are looking to us that we need to set an example for. And hopefully that just causes you to do things a little differently, a little more honest, and with a little more integrity. All right? Now we're going to move on to the question and answer portion, okay? We did cover a lot of stuff. Man, again, shout out to Team Teefab and shout out to all my Fab family because we had like a slew of questions come in. Some stuff I will be able to cover. I'm going to be honest with you, some stuff I actually don't want to cover in this show because, again, I do have other things that are in the works, and some topics I feel like will be better for that. So let's get into the questions and answer. First of all, I've heard that strict curl is harder than some other power lifts. Is it true? Strict curl is not harder than other power lifts, but it is the most underestimated, in my opinion. A lot of people look at the lift and be like, oh, you're just standing there and raising the bar. So it's harder because people don't understand how meticulous it is. It's the most underestimated. But I think every lift, whether it's a squat, bench, deadlift, or curl, is just as hard. To me, the ones that are the most dangerous are the bench and the squat. In the deadlift, the load is not above you. And in the curl, you could just straighten your hands, drop the bar. But the bench press and the squat are the compromising lifts, because if you fail to lift, and it comes down on you without the proper people to safeties, you're in trouble. So, it just depends on how you look at it, okay? Some of the questions don't have to do with strict curl, so there's some of them are about me as a coach. What inspires you about helping so many others reach their goals? So me as a coach is my way of saying thank you. Just to have a quick synopsis, I am the mother of a heart transplant recipient. I never got a chance to meet my daughter's donor. I feel like I owe the world a lot, and I never got closure in that way. So I treat everybody as if they had a hand in saving my child. I tried. And so I extend a thank you, and I want to help everybody that I can in return because a stranger helped my child. So that is what motivates me, okay? The strict curl competition requires a great deal of upper body strength. How does a beginner get started in an appropriate training plan? So first, research. Never start training in a lift and you don't have the proper research. Secondly, make sure you have the proper rest. Make sure you have the right gear to secure yourself, especially if the muscle groups aren't strong enough for you to perform that lift necessarily raw. And then find somebody that knows what they're doing. The biggest thing is just reaching out for help. Inquire, send a DM. A lot of times you might see something on social media, on YouTube or whatever, but it's way more meticulous than you see, like our lift period. So don't be afraid to reach out for help. And again, research, okay? As a coach, how do you determine which muscle groups to focus on? Okay, so for strict curl, I'm guessing that's strict curl specific. The primary movers are the biceps and the forearms, and then you get a little tricep as well. So those are the muscle groups that you need to focus on. However, if you've ever curled with me, you always hear me complain about my hamstrings. And it's going to be a little Teefab tip. The way I brace for a curl makes it a full body lift, okay? And we can circle back to that on another show. But I feel my hamstrings as though I had performed a deadlift. True T. So if you are bracing properly and exerting force properly, you're going to feel it in more than just your arms, okay? So yes, it is a full body movement, but the primary movers are the biceps and forearms, so that is what needs to be trained primarily. And do it in different ways. Don't train it the same because it'll only be able to move that way, and you'll miss out different muscles and nerves and tendons and things like that. Somebody put a little shady question. Have I ever released the client? Well, I haven't technically released a team member, but it has been some that has went on a break and I've been full when they tried to return. Next, have you ever had a consult with a client and knew that you weren't a good fit? I will say that I have had many consults with many people and I have been full. Okay. Is there a difference in one's results between using a meal plan versus macros? This is about diet, I guess. Yes, there is a difference. With macros, you can make anything fit into your macros. For example, You can make a Snickers bar fit into your macros, but that Snickers bar is not going to help your booty fit into them jeans. So yes, there is a difference. Okay. Next, what's the hardest areas on the body to train? To me, the hardest area on the body to train is your mind. If you train your mind, there is nothing impossible that you can do. Nothing. So to me, that is the hardest area to train. Once your mindset is locked in, there is no impossibility. So start there. Once you conquer that and believe within yourself that you can do any and all things, the sky's the limit on what you can do. So that is the hardest thing. Okay. Next, that one, there's a question about expectations in your journey. That is definitely one that I want to circle back to at a later time. All right. I have several questions about weight class cutoff. When you look up the meet where they give the one number and the other number, you need to weigh in between. So in between, a little over 132 and under 148.6. That's where you need to be, in between. Okay. For strict curl, again, we talked about the attire as a singlet. For my meet, for the strict curl nation, you need a singlet and an undershirt. All right. Does food or eating healthy matter? Yes, it does. Food is fuel. If you don't eat properly, you're not going to have fuel or energy to perform your best and to move the load. So food is absolutely key, and it needs to be quality food and the right foods. It doesn't need to be food that disagrees with your body, because sometimes digestive and constipation and issues like that pull more energy away instead of giving you energy to perform. So food is definitely key. Nutrition is key. All right. I think I covered all questions. I didn't see any other questions pop up, and I think we are pretty much at a good time frame. But I will give everybody a minute. I know that's right, Six. Hey, Six. How you doing? All right. Anybody else have any more questions before I log off and sign off? I think I covered everything. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Didn't he go off? Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Battle of the Biceps. Hopefully I covered everything. July 15th, the Chaos Lab, media packages with Clay, purchase them. The rep contest is going to be max rep at 50% body weight. We got lifters coming from across the country. These are my awards for the overalls, and they're fabulous, and they're huge. And I wish I had one myself, but no, I am not competing in my own meet. Okay, I'm not that thirsty for no hardware. I think I covered everything. Any other questions, you guys? If you do have any other questions, you can always DM me. Thank you guys for watching my live. I would love to have good feedback. I want to do this more. I prefer this because I could be allergic to people. People kind of make me itch a little bit sometimes. So this is good because I don't have to really people, but I'm still peopling. So this might work out all right. Okay. Love you guys. Take care. Have a great night. If you have any more questions about my meet, shoot me a DM, and I'll see you on the next one. Love you, mean it. Thanks for chatting it up with the queen. All right, y'all go do something productive. Go work out. Did you work out today? Go work out. Do your cardio and eat right and meal prep and do all the things you're supposed to do, especially if you're on Team T.